Hello everyone, it's Dr. Avi here again. I'm very blessed to be here with Matt Riemann, who is a global expert on personalized health. He's now in Sydney and just finished his talk at the University of New South Wales to a whole bunch of doctors on the future of personalized medicine. He's also the founder of a platform called PH360, which is all around phenotyping and looking at the physical biomarkers of a human being and how that is different for all over 7.5 billion people around the world. And part of what Matt is working on is looking at different genotypes, phenotypes, and body types of human beings. But what he just taught the doctors was that every one of us also wants to be communicated in a different way. Personalized medicine is personalized communication. So Matt, do you just want to talk a little bit about what you just taught everyone, all the medical fraternity here, around how we should communicate differently to different individuals?
Yeah, sure, Avi. Well, I guess the first thing to understand is certainly that we're all different, we're all unique, and we all have a different expression of our genotype, which means we all have a different phenotype. And that not only dictates the sort of foods that are good for us to eat, or the sort of exercises that we do, or even the times of day we should do those sorts of things, but it also helps us understand about our different brain regions that are most dominant, our different natural brain frequencies that exist, how our hormones and neurotransmitters actually correlate with those, which means we can actually understand about language and about how things resonate. We can understand about why the conversation about we shouldn't eat McDonald's or smoke, and we can say, someone will actually hear that and say, I shouldn't eat McDonald's. Another person will be mid-bite and say, yeah, I heard you, but I'm still going to keep eating it.
Yeah.
Everybody heard the same language, but it didn't land for some people. And why is that? It's because the language actually needs to be delivered in a different way. And so what we're able to do, understanding the phenotypes, is we break this down to a conversation that can really resonate with each of the different neurotypes.
Yeah.
And we can share things in a way that would actually be informational for some. For some people, would look at specific information and write that down.
Yeah.
For other people, would be looking at a conversation that's very engaging and very animated and very lifelike. And for other people, would be looking at some engagement that's very supporting and nurturing and caring, and it gives a level of trust. So many different ways we'd approach the same conversation with different types of people.
And you had, teaching these doctors, you had 6 different types of bodies. If you could just very quickly summarize what each one is, and how, if you see a patient who's that specific type, how you communicate differently to each one. Can we quickly run through those?
Very quickly, sure. Yeah. So we have what we call a sensor, who is the taller, thinner person, what we classify as a classic ectomorph person that's there. They are going to be high in cortisol is our big thing that we need to be mindful of for them. They're going to be very skeptical, and they're going to be the biggest people who need to have trust in you as a doctor.
Right.
And so this is something you need to make sure that you give them the education, give them the understanding behind the education that you're giving, maybe some research and some evidence behind it,
yes.
And also get to that point of making sure they can really feel that you are on their team.
Okay.
The second type is a crusader, and this is a crusader that's in between an ectomorph and a mesomorph body type. For those that are familiar with those, this is someone who's the most skeptical, but will follow exactly to a T what you ask them to do, as long as they believe you. Right. So this is where you really need to make sure that you can convey to them what you are doing isn't something that's your personal opinion. It's a very objective-based conversation you're having with them, and they'll be your best advocate that's there. They'll also be the most skeptical until they get on the other side of that. The third type there is called an activator. This is coming to the mesomorph category now. And the mesomorph category is very dynamic, very active, very reactive. They don't want to be bored with details. They just want to say, hey, doc, just tell me what to do, and I'll go do it. I don't need to be justified. I don't need to explain to the why. I don't need to know the research.
Just want the instructions.
I just want the instructions, and I just want to go get it done already. And hey, I want to probably hear that maybe 2 or 3 other patients that you've had have done the same thing and got great results. And I'm good to go. Thanks so much. The next type is called a connector. This is between the mesomorph and the endomorph now. And the connector needs to have fun and social engagement. They're the classic extrovert. So they need to feel like I'm interested and engaged in what you're doing, that it's fun. These are the people who are likely going to be your worst clients. They're going to say, tell you what you want to hear and likely not do what you do unless it's their idea. And so you need to actually get them to write down whatever you've told them, or record a video in the office with them to say, cool, here's the way I'm going to do my exercise, or here's what I'm going to commit to for the next week at home. Something that engages them into the practice means they'll actually go ahead and do that. Otherwise, they're the classic doctor shoppers and the classic people who will say, oh, I did everything you said, but I'm still feeling sick or still unwell, and they wouldn't have done anything. You said that this is just their biology. We understand that.
They need to be included in that advice.
Have to be
part of creating that advice.
It has to be their decision, actually, as opposed to your decision. Even if you have the answers, help them think it's their idea, and they'll do what needs to get done. The last two type is a guardian that comes around. This is our classic endomorph. And these people they just need to feel loved, they need to feel cared for, They need to make sure that they understand that you have really got their back in some way, shape or form. And they'll, as long as you can have some bedside manner with them, ask them about their kids and about their work and about their whatevers for a couple of minutes, and they are 100% in your hands. Doc, just tell me what to do. I'll do it. They'll be your clients for life. They'll bring their family. They'll bring their families, and everyone to you. They just need to know that you're out for them, which they see as just some social conversation that's there. And the last type is a diplomat. This is between our endomorph and our ectomorph. And the diplomat needs some time to think. You can't say, hey, go do this and come back tomorrow and tell me what to do. Just pop down to the clinic and grab this. They just say, hey, doc, just give me the ideas, give me the 3 different options I've got here. Let me go away and think about that. And this is something that I'll be very happy to come back and book in to see you next week to make a decision. I just need some time to think about it. I need to know that you care. I need to know that you think that this is important to me and you hear me and understand me. And if that's the case, then I'm really happy to consider your ideas and your options here. I'll go away and think about that, talk it over with whoever I need to, and come back. And when we get back, then we'll make a decision together.
So give them options and they'll come back, and give them time to think as well.
Exactly.
So that's the 6 different types. Matt, if you could just tell us one place that we can go to find out more information about that, and how we can improve our patient communication, individualize it, and therefore improve the overall patient experience. Where's the one place that we can go to find out more about what you just said?
Excellent. The first place to go is actually healthtypetest.org. You can actually take one of these tests, and all your patients can do this as well. It's free. It takes 3 minutes to do, and you can understand about which different types there are, and some great starting points for foods, for activities, for the language and communications, and the way that people's minds and their phenotype actually works. It's a really incredible resource that's there. It's 100% free. We're out to make a big difference in the world, as you know, Avi, so I really appreciate that. And for any more detail on phenomics and genomics, then go and check out ph360.me.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks so much, Matt. So great to have you back here in Sydney. Matt is Australian by background, but now spends his time all around the world. They're in 100 countries now. So check out what he's just mentioned there, and all the best from me, Dr. Avi. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.